Buckle up, it's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
Hello. Dan Herrenbriuck.
Okay, yeah.
Welcome.
I got him. Hey, Craig, how you doing, man?
Good. Welcome
Yep.
to the Insurance Dudes.
How are you?
Dan, how's it going?
Good, Jason. How you doing?
Good. Good to meet you.
You as well.
Noticed just right off the bat, Dan, that your artwork is slightly different than the artwork that Jason has behind him.
just a bit.
Slightly.
That's funny.
Jason brought. Yeah.
Will go really well.
Yeah. Why don't you have an Alf in between your pictures?
In the,
I should. My wife would kill me though.
She wouldn't like that.
She's the decorator.
Nice.
Oh.
My wife.
I'm no dummy. I didn't pick and choose your battles, right?
Totally. My wife doesn't come here, hence. It's like my.
I like it.
Growing up.
I like it.
I noticed today he has both Alf and ET, so capturing both.
I love it. I'm reliving my childhood.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to do every day.
It's pretty informal. This is just sort of what we do the whole time.
Yeah, good. I like it. Let's just chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, why don't you introduce yourself to the international audience that we have? We are broadcasting to every continent except for Australia.
Well,
right now, no listeners in Australia.
I'm out then. My wife is actually Australian, so her grandmother is Australian, so.
Can we get her to subscribe, and then we would have a listener in Australia?
We'll have it in. We have an in.
Nice.
Right?
I've been looking for that in.
My Daniel Herrenbriuck. I am an Allstate agent since 2006. Moved down from Indianapolis to sunny Naples, Florida, to take over my father-in-law's agency, and he just retired in December. We've got 43 years of experience. He started it when he was 21 years old and retired in December. And
that's awesome.
He got like 18 million in premium.
That's it.
He's on the Allstate. He's in the Allstate Hall of Fame, so I'm no pressure.
No pressure
to steer this ship.
Right.
But it's a good business. I've got I'm a blessed man. I've got good people who work for me and with me, and we're just trying to grow it. I want to be in the Allstate Hall of Fame one day.
Mm-hmm.
Get that big bronze bust. So goals.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part taking over? Is filling in for such big shoes?
Getting him to back off a little bit. Honestly, there's a guy who's been. I say that somewhat tongue in cheek, but you got a guy who's been uber successful for 40 years. It's not an easy thing to step away and give the reins over. So, getting that, navigating that, what is something you need to do versus what is advice. There's a fine line between that. So. But we're blessed. We're blessed. We spend a lot of time not talking about the business outside of the business, at family dinners and the like, so that we can have a working and fruitful relationship in the business.
How have you been created the situation where you can turn it off? Because we talk to a lot of agents, and especially the newer agents that jump in, they're talking about they answer the email while they're at dinner at 8 at night, and for me that's not business leverage, and I think Jason agrees, and you as well.
It's priorities. It's priorities. You got to work. I'm not afraid to work late, but I got into this business out of the corporate world because I wanted some freedom. Freedom to go watch my kids play sports, freedom to to do those things. So I'm always available. But my priority is my family. And, when I leave here, it might be 6 o'clock or 6:30 at night. Some nights if we don't have anything going on, as a family, but when I leave here, I'm off. I'm off duty. It's an emergency. So it's all priorities.
Awesome.
I always tell my staff, always be at work, but that doesn't mean you're always working. Just be available. Simple things like if you're going, my son, my 8-year-old son has to get allergy shots about once every 6 weeks now. And every 6 weeks, every time I go in there, I wear an Allstate branded shirt. Why? Because people see it and they want to talk, oh, you're an Allstate guy. And they just start talking. I can't tell you the number of policies I've written because I was wearing a shirt. I didn't go in there with the intent of working per se, but I'm always at work. So
always
that's kind of my philosophy.
Representing that brand.
Yeah.
Your brand.
Yeah. Everything you do it with a purpose. And then it's easier and easier. Once your purpose is defined, it becomes easier and easier.
Well, and it helps to have 18 million in premium.
That's not a bad thing.
It starts exponentially, right? There's so many policyholders that it just, it's like a wildfire.
Sure.
And we've talked a lot about phases of an agency. What are some of the biggest challenges for when you get to that size?
Growth.
You probably wouldn't have.
It's just growth. It's, where you get to this size and you retain 90% of your business, you're losing $1 million in premium a year before you break even. So you have to write $1 million plus in premium to just break even. So it's the struggle of watching what goes in, goes out the back door versus having, separate staff to grow it, to bring new business. And it can be a lot for me trying to juggle both sides of that coin.
And what are you guys doing marketing strategies for growth?
I'm a big proponent of, I've talked to people about marketing and everybody's got their own opinion as to what's good, there's no such thing as a silver bullet in marketing. The successful people are the ones who find things that work even a little bit and then do it over and over and over and over and over again. That's the key. I've got a lady who I call her my external marketing director. She drives around and drops off business cards and candy and internet leads and things to about 150 or so mortgage brokers and real estate offices in our county. And she does it every week. She hits them on like a 3-week rotating scale. And, she just does it over and over and over again. And then, she laughs. She said, there's some people who just know me as the candy lady. Candy, but they want to give their business to the candy lady. It's just relationships. But whatever you decide to do, just do it, commit to it and do it over and over and over again. It'll work itself out.
That's a cool strategy. And how long has she been doing that?
I don't know, 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it started, let me back up. We've been doing that 18 years. It started off with my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law stopped doing it probably, 3-4 years ago. And then my current lady's been doing it for like 4 years.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know that people will jump in and ask the numbers on that. Would you go into that? I'd love to hear, okay, she hits X number of places. Out of those X number of places on a monthly, because I know you track this stuff, right? On a monthly basis, how many referrals do you get from that activity?
We write, on average, we write 150 homeowners policies a month. And, you probably directly attribute 125 of those to mortgage referrals. lender referrals. I mean, they come in here all day, every day. So some months are better than others, especially in Southwest Florida. It's a very seasonal area, a lot like the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. The population triples in October and then reduces by a third in June. So you have a couple of months that are lean. For us, it's just like for every year for us, March is a lean month because it's that transitional month between when people are starting to pack up and go home, and nobody's really coming down here. So you just plan for that, and then November every year for us is a banner month because everybody's just getting down to Naples and the activity is booming, and there's nothing I can do to really control that. That's nature. That's the nature of where I live. So you just plan for it. You plan for March being a little lean and November being a great month, and you go from there.
And as long as you're consistent with that activity, then they're going to think of you in November when they show up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome. How many places does she hit?
150 or so.
150?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a lot of Snickers bars.
It's a lot of Snickers bars.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know if, geographically down here, it's the Naples, Fort Myers area. So she's probably driving, 35 miles north from our office and probably 20 miles south. So if you take that as a radius, what is that, maybe a 45, 50 mile radius from the office, not so much east and west because we're about 3 miles from the water. Which runs out of real estate pretty quickly going west. But, so it's a pretty big geographical area that she hits.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So
you just create a route. You say, here's the list, boop, boop, boop. And she just hits her places.
Yep. That's it. And she's great. She's a single mom with 2 kids and it's worked out. And she also operates my Facebook page and does all the digital stuff behind the scenes and takes mailers out and all those things, stuffs envelopes and does all the things for me. But it's a lot of work that she can do from home. So it works for her. She's texted me before at 9:00 at night. She got this thought about putting something up on the Facebook page and she wants to get it approved before she actually does. And so it's great. It works for me. It works for her. She does a great job, so we're blessed with it, blessed in that way.
That's awesome.
To be continue.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's
Okay.
520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.